I knew this day would come. The new one's working? Oh my gosh, guys, we're gonna see the new one. Am I the first one to use the new elevator, y'all? Oh my gosh! Yeah! I don't know why that makes me so hyped. Look at this mirror, guys. It used to be all cut up. You seen the one next door? It's the little things that count. That new elevator just brightened up my day. I'm about to head to this library by Potsdamer Platz that a friend Matthias told me about. He said it's a nice library, and yeah, I usually go to the one right by my house, but it's nice to kind of go a little further today, go where no hero has gone before. Just put on the headphones. Favorite podcast time right now, the MFCEO project with Andy Frisella. Check it out. So it's my first time in this library, and it turns out it's very complicated just to be able to use the Wi-Fi. So I had to do this whole registration process for just a 3-day card, which I did. And then to sign on to get the Wi-Fi, I had to like register again, change a password, then wait 30 minutes. And now I have to put my entire bag into this plastic bag because I can't bring my bag, and I have to go and lock it into this locker over here. I hope it's worth it. Guys, never ever go to this place if you want to use Wi-Fi for the first time. Ever. Just don't do it. Save yourself the time and energy. It's ridiculous, yo. This is my favorite place in the city, and I don't come here often enough. The first time I started daily vlogging about a year ago, I was like coming here early in the morning to meditate and stuff, and it was like one of my favorite things to do in the summer, and I think I'm gonna restart that this summer. And I'm also thinking it's likely that I had such a hard time earlier, just so that now I can be here enjoying one of my favorite places, because before I even started filming right now, my brakes like came out of the socket here, and like I was so mad, and I was just on the side of the road fixing it, and a guy was kind enough to stop and help me out, and if he didn't help me out, I'd probably still be there. So I'm just happy that he did that, and I'm happy that I'm here, and I'm looking forward to whatever else comes up next today. Yay! I'm still not over it. And we're back. Today was interesting, with those setbacks at the library and just trying to get things going. But what's funny now with like setbacks, I mentioned a little while ago, was that I have this centering thought that everything is happening at the exact right time for whatever reason. And yeah, I just need to chill out and go with the flow sometimes. Like when things just aren't working, it's probably for a very good reason. So that's how today felt. But something that kind of brought my energy or kept it in the right place was listening to this podcast, the MFCEO project, which you guys have heard me mention many times now. I heard a really good one. It was kind of long. It was about an hour, and it was about how to create the life you want with Andy Frisella, and it's featuring Charlie Jabali, I believe his name is. Basically the manager of 2 Chainz and like many well-known rapper dudes. He was the manager for them. But that's not why I was listening to it. I was listening to it because of the title. And so I listened to it, and it was really good. They talked a bit about quantum physics and law of attraction and all these things that I personally live by. And if you've watched some of my other episodes, you know what I'm talking about with like intuition and the story of how I ended up in Berlin in the first place. it's all very related. And so I definitely felt in sync today when I listened to that. It's kind of an old one too. I think it's from like 2 years ago. It's an older podcast, and they were talking about different stories about ways in which they've like spoken things into existence, or how energy just works. And I thought it was just so cool, and I was sharing it on my Instagram story and everything because it just like brought so much life to me. I love when other people talk about energy in this way and quantum physics and all these things, because it's really the way in which the world works. And I feel like not enough people are aware or believe it or like live by it, which I find to be quite a shame, because you can really do a lot with it if you choose to. And so, yeah, it was super interesting. And then I came home to Alex, who had a really great, energetic type of day.
So yeah, this was pretty dope. Hello, guys. Essentially a Facebook group full of content creators, and there's a podcast that comes out every week. Really cool interviews, and this time he actually had people in this community recording videos to ask the question. And yeah, I was really excited. I was in the grocery store earlier and just listening to the podcast, and I kind of forgot that I had asked this question. And then to hear your own voice on a podcast where you're not expecting it while you're online, it's kind of just like, whoa. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of like share with somebody, and you know, you're not going to share it with a stranger out in the store like, hey, I'm on this podcast. You know what I mean?
Weird, yeah.
But, you know, I felt my energy just kind of started flying all over the place because it's super exciting.
Yo, Alex from Black with No Clean here. Dusty, what's good? I really love your work. My one question for you is, what's that one thing you wish somebody told you, you read in a book or saw on YouTube? What's that one thing that you wish you knew when you got started with photography and video production?
Oh man, Alex, that's a crazy question to answer, man.
That's hard.
That makes you think. It makes you think about it.
So yeah, that was super exciting just to hear my own voice.
Awesome?
And the video of the podcast is on YouTube. It's like my face is in this video,
And
my
it's
voice.
with Dusty Kessler, who's like this legendary video dude.
It's so dope, man. So yeah, that was really dope. That was definitely exciting. And something else that happened today, my younger brother sent me a video clip of Big Sean on Instagram. I found out he has like the same birthday as me, or a day or two earlier before. And he was just talking about some really positive stuff, some stuff that he wished that he knew. Mm-hmm. And one thing that he said on his 30th birthday was that he wished he had treated himself better over the years, instead of focusing on everybody else and treating other people better than he was treating himself.
Big Sean, right?
Big Sean, yeah. Mm-hmm. So those two things and like 2 or 3 other like really interesting things happened today. And I feel like there was so much synchronicity, you know what I mean? And it's like, once you really start participating with the universe and just having that good energy, it gets returned right back to you like immediately.
That's exactly what they were talking about in the podcast that I was listening to.
Yeah.
And like they broke it down, what's his name? Charlie, he broke it down in like kind of the physics level or the molecular level, where they have experiments where they like, let's say, take a swab or whatever of your DNA. Yeah, and then they like put it in a place, put it in one room, and then you go in some other room far away, and they give you some kind of emotional stimulus, like you watch a film that might make you cry or something like that, or something really gross or polarizing. And then they measure what happens to the DNA. Yeah. And basically what happens to it is that it also gets affected at the same time that you're emotionally getting affected. The DNA is changing, and you're not in the same physical place.
Right.
And like that's just crazy, because then that's basically saying it's all co-working together. You know what I mean? Like even if you're not necessarily next to that energy, it's still being affected. So it's like,
so interesting.
however you're vibrating or thinking right now and being right now is also being affected in other ways and other people. And they also spoke about like how you might think of somebody and then that you haven't seen or heard of in a long time, and then suddenly they're everywhere, or like suddenly you bump into them.
Right.
That stuff's been happening to me a lot lately.
It's like just that perfect timing where even if you're just saying hi to someone or hey to someone, you never know what could be going on in that person's life. You don't know where the connection may be. It's kind of like, just go for it anyways. You know what I mean? Like, have in your head like what you want to create and the energy that you want to be around, and then send that into the universe.
It's so funny because it's not an accident, you know?
It's not an accident,
but
yeah.
it very well could have never happened. And that's
Easily.
the whole thing. Is
Easy.
like, you have to be participating in it. This is what I mean when like I'm saying you got to participate in the flow.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to be proactive too. Like, you have to send a message. You have to follow up.
It's
you
so
have
true.
to like go to the event. You have to walk through the door. You gotta, you gotta like just do these little things. Like showing up. They be saying like showing up is 90% or whatever.
I think so.
I think so too.
but
I think
but
it's a huge
I feel
part.
like you got to show up with good energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah.
Showing up is like the hard part.
Yeah.
That a lot of people miss.
You gotta
It's like
have,
you got to be there.
yeah, you gotta have like the intention at
Yeah.
least, It's crazy. But yeah, so it's been one of those kinds of days. Even though it was a little weird for me, like
Yeah.
like physical world wise, energetically it was a great day.
That's what's up, man.
So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in today. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow. This has been Super Over the Hashtag Hero. Hero out. Definitely check out the Hashtag Hero Planner. I just created it, and it's designed to help you achieve your unique social impact goals in a creative and fun way. You can find the link in the description. See you tomorrow.